Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park, and here we are with another game in the 1949 replay. The Reds are here, the Cardinals, and we'll see how this one goes. Thank you for all of your feedback on YouTube so far. It really does mean a lot to me as Haddon takes another strike two. As you can see here, I have tried to increase the font as somebody requested, and Haddon strikes out there. Brazel gets one past him, and there's strike three, strike one here on Danny Litweiler. And he gets a little pop base hit, and here comes Jimmy Bloodworth. And Marion catches that one before it hits the ground. Bloodworth I pushed up in the order to the number 3 spot because he's been hitting extremely well lately. Here's Klazewski and his 0-2 already on Ted. Ted gets a base hit over to the right side, and Litweiler will hold at second. Here's Johnny Wurstick, and he hits a little ground ball to third base, and that does that. Howie Fox is going to start here for Cincinnati. So I was talking here about the fonts because it was requested. 2-0 now the count on Enos Slaughter. And I understand that a lot of you are probably watching it on mobile devices, which is something that I'm definitely not doing. I'm playing this on a rather large screen. Boy, Slaughter is very, very close to getting a home run on that one. Merriman makes the catch deep in center field, and there's one away. Just allowed out. Here's Eddie Kazak, and he has a 2-0 count on him. It's easy for me to forget that you're watching this probably on a mobile device as the 3-1 pitch comes in. Kazak a little ground ball to third, and that's out number 2. Here's Stan the Man. Because I'm playing this on a iMac, actually. It's on a 2019 27-inch iMac that is running Pop OS, and I'm playing this through a virtual machine, a full count now on Stan the Man. And he gets a base hit, lines that one down the right field line, and the inning continues for St. Louis. It's easy for me to forget that you might not have a screen that's quite as big as my screen, which is absolutely huge. That's kind of what happens with content creation is Nippy Jones gets the base hit on the right side. Runners are first and third now, 2 outs for the Cardinals, and there's a strike one to Chuck Deering. And he swings and misses at strike 2, and Fox gets some strike 3, and that does that for the Cardinals in the first inning. St. Louis is about, I believe it's 3-3 here on the season. Cincinnati is either 1-4 or 1-5, not having a good season so far. 1-2 now the pitch on Virgil Stahl Cup, who takes a ball low. And there's a little squibbler that Schoendienst is able to get, and there's one away. Ray Miller now, and a little fly ball to Enos Slaughter, and there's 2 away, and here is Merriman. Merriman hitting 0-4-3. And, does he have one hit this season? We're about as close to nothing as you can get, and he stays at nothing with a little fly ball to left, and that is that. Here's Schoendienst. 1-0 pitch on him. He's easy out of first base, 1-3. And there comes Marty Marion for the second hitter of the inning. No score so far here in the early going. 2-1 the pitch on Marion. He takes a curveball inside, 3-1 on him, and that hit him. No, it hit the bat, and it drives me nuts when the play-by-play does that. Fox ends up getting the strikeout, and so much for that. Here's Del Rice now with 2 outs, and he gets a base hit to center. I wish the play-by-play would just tell you that it hit the bat for a foul ball instead of trying to do all this fancy stuff. There's one thing I don't like about the play-by-play. A little base hit by Brazel, and we're not going to send the runner. 2 outs here in the top or bottom of the second inning, and with Enos Slaughter coming up, let's play a little bit safe and see what Enos can do. And he does get the base hit. That scores 1 with the run. We're going to play it conservatively again because of how powerful this Cardinal offense is. And just like that, it's 1-0 St. Louis. And here's Eddie Kazak, and this could be a big inning. Let's see what happens. And Kazak gets a long fly ball to left field, and it's not long enough. And it's 1-0 Cardinals, just like that. Here we are at the top of the third inning, and Howie Fox is a 1-1 count on him. Gets a little ground ball there. Hits off Brazel over to Marion, who throws over to Jones for the 1-6-3. There's another ground ball, that time over to first base, 3-1 on the putout. That was by Hatton. Now here's Danny Litweiler once again, and it's a 2-0 count on him. Sinker called for a strike, 2-1. There's another one low, 3-1. And lined up the middle, and Brazel makes the play on that one. It's stuck somewhere to something. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It looks like he caught that one with his stomach, but it didn't hit the ground, so it is a legal catch. And that is one of the more ridiculous plays I think I've seen so far in Diamond Mine Baseball. But so it goes. Off we go to the bottom of the third inning, and we'll take that. We'll take whatever we can get. 1-0 St. Louis here with Stan Musial coming up. 0-1 the pitch on him. And a little ground ball to the right side, and that's through for a hit. And here comes Nippy Jones again. Nippy Jones also has a hit in this ball game. And when St. Louis is hitting, it's going to be hard to stop them, especially if you have Cincinnati's bullpen. 2-1 and 3-1 now. That pitch misses, and there's a little play on the right side. Musial goes to second, 1 out. And here comes Chuck Deering. Let's see if Deering can knock Musial in. 1-1 the count on him. And that's a swinging strike for strike 2. 1-2 now on him. Deering swings and misses and strikes out. 3 strikeouts so far for Howie Fox, who's having a pretty good game here on the mound for Cincinnati. That was a good starting pitcher decision, and the next batter grounds out to short, and that does that. I will have to compliment myself on my excellent choice in starting pitchers. 1-0 game here, top of the 4th inning. Bloodworth just missed a home run. 0-2 now the count on him. 1-2 now. And 2-2 as Al Brazel having a few control problems. And a little ground ball to Marion at short. That's 1 away. And here's Kluszewski, and he gets a mighty foul on that one and chases the slider in the dirt, 0-2. And Brazel gets the call on a little pitch that dropped, and that's your little drop ball. And there are two outs now with Johnny Wirostek up. Little ground ball to short, or to second rather, and that does that. And here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Marty Marion's back up to bat, and it's a 1-1 count on him so far. That one's fouled back to the screen, and Ray Mueller is going to get the error on that one, which is a little bit harsh since there was no runner, no movement of any runners anywhere, and Marion ends up getting the base hit. So I guess since he got the base hit, you can look at that as a mistaken play and a poor play on the catcher. I mean, he just dropped the ball. That's all there was to it. 0-2 pitch on Rice, and that's a double play ground ball. Bloodworth, the stall cup to Kluszewski. And 2 away now, and here's Brazel, and he foul tips the first one and fouls off the second one. And he gets a line drive base hit off the glove of Hatton, who just barely misses, making a spectacular catch on that one. And so Brazel's on at first base with his second hit of the game, 2 for 2 today. Boy, that's really surprising. And here is Slaughter now. 1-2 the pitch on him as 2-2. And check swing, he holds up on that one. And here's a full count, and he draws the walk. I was about to say, Howie Fox has more walks than strikeouts in real life. You wonder when they're going to come up, and there was the first walk of today. 1-1 now the pitch here on Kazak, and he gets him to pop up to the catcher. Nothing doing, top of the 5th inning. Here's Virgil Stallcup now, and he fouled that pitch off. A little shattered bat, 0-2 now the pitch on him, and Stallcup strikes out. Easy peasy for Al Brazel. And ball 1 now on Ray Mueller, and ball 2 comes in on him, 2-0 now the count. And now it's 2-1. And there's another foul ball, 2-2 now on him. I'm guessing from that nickname they gave Al Brazel, or the game mentioned, is that he's probably one of these old country boys. Ray Mueller gets the base hit off of him. What was it? Blazes and Saddles or something like that. 1-1 now the pitch on Lloyd Merriman. I'll call it out here next time it comes up. 2-1 the pitch on him. Merriman swings and misses and spins all the way around for the second strike, and now it's a full count on Merriman. And then he swings and misses again, and he's out on strikes. Brazel, 4 strikeouts now in this game. Howie Fox now the batter. 1-0 the pitch on him. There's a line drive to the right side, and Miller is only able to reach second base, and that's because Miller is not a fast runner. And we have 2 on, 2 out here for Grady Hatton. And let's see what happens. 1-2 now is the pitch on him, and there's a little flare to right field. Miller's going home. Let's see if Musial can make the throw. Musial not known for his arm, and that turns out to be safe at the plate. And just like that, it is a 1-1 ball game. St. Louis with 8 hits so far in this game. The Cincinnati Reds have only had, 5? And a number of those have come here in this inning. But that's not what counts, as you all know. What counts is the run total on the scoreboard, and it is 1-1. And that was a good play by Hatton. And in an inning where I thought that Cincinnati was just going to make a little bit of a blip and it wasn't going to hurt anything, they have tied this ball game. And St. Louis has to start ruining some of its chances and wondering what happened with some of these opportunities it was granted early. Brazel, out of anger, strikes the man out, and that does it, but it's 1-1 now, and this is an exciting game all of a sudden. 1-1 now the pitch on Stan Musial, who can put this one out of reach quickly if he wants. There's a little foul ball to the right field line, landing just outside the chalk, foul. And then a little Little grounder to Bloodworth, who makes a good play on it. And here's Nippy Jones with 1 out. 2-0 now the pitch on Jones. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 2-1. And a little bounce to the right side. Bloodworth grits it, throws him out, and that's 2 away. And strike comes into Chuck Deering, and he pops that one up, and that does it. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and this is an exciting game. And here is Jimmy Bloodworth again, hitting just under 500 on this season so far. Of course, it's only April 25th, but Bloodworth does get another base hit there. And now he is running, and he is thrown out at second base, and we catch him on the attempted stolen base. That's a little bit aggressive for a man who only had 2 attempts in the regular season. I mean, 31 years old. I kind of understand this, but not fully. I don't fully understand that computer manager decision. I'm not going to promise whether I would have done that myself or not, as the 2-2 comes into Kluszewski, and he grounds that one off to the right side, and Kluszewski gets the base hit. Boy, now this one looms a little bit larger, right? What if you still have Bloodworth on base instead of 1 on with 1 out? You might have 2 on with nobody out, and instead Rurostek is able to avoid the double play there. Kluszewski's out at second base. Now there's 1 on with 2 outs, and this game could have been a lot different if the computer manager weren't so aggressive. A little ground ball over to Marion, and he goes over and makes the play himself at second base. Difficult play to make, but he does it, and off we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and here is Schoendienst, 1-1 the pitch on him, and that's a change for strike 2, 1-2. That one bounces, and the count is now full count on him, and Schoendienst sees the walk, he goes to first base, and here we go. They say the bunt is in order here with Marty Marion coming up, who's hitting .429. I think you're insane if you think we're going to bunt here. We're going to swing away. Why would we bunt in this situation? You tell me. What would you do? I'm not going to bunt. And, of course, what happens is Marion hits into double play. Well, maybe we should have bunted. I don't know. What do you think? Del Rice now fouls the first one off to the right-hand side and misses a fastball, 0-2. Takes the sinker low, 1-2 on him. And he strikes out, and that's the 4th strikeout of this game for Fox. And on we go to the top of the 7th inning, and this game is tied 1-1, and this is an exciting ball game. Mueller now, 0-2 the pitch on him. That one's under the hands, 1-2 on him. It takes a sinker out the plate, 2-2. And, boy, he was around on that one, and that one looked like it was extra bases over the third baseman. And there is your extra base hit. No, it's only he holds Mueller to a single. Mueller with a very, very good at-bat here for Cincinnati. And I'm slowing this down a little bit here, mostly because I think that this might end up being a key play in this game. We'll see if Cincinnati is able to do anything here. St. Louis has had more than enough chances to make something happen, and yet every time I think that something exciting is going to happen or we're going to put something together, we end up blowing it. Merriman there with a little pop-up. Brazel gets him to pop up, but it goes foul, 0-2 on him. That's his name, old Boots and Saddles. Boots and Saddles with strikeout number 6 on the game, and that brings up Howie Fox. Old Boots and Saddles here goes up against Fox. There's the bunt coming on. He pulls it back. 2-0 now the pitch. Bunt on the third base sign, and that one rolls foul. And there's another bunt this time over to the right side that rolls foul. Boots and Saddles come down with it, and it's a full count. And there's the double play, and that gets us out of the inning. And here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning, and this is an exciting game. Boots and Saddles will come up. He'll hit for himself. A little ground ball. The second that does it, and Bloodworth gets him. Enos Slaughter now. 1-0 on Slaughter, 1-1 now after that foul ball. Fouls that one off his foot, 1-2. And there's a little fly ball to center field. Merriman's got it, 2 away. And here's Eddie Kazak, 1-0 now the pitch on him, 1-1. And let's see what happens here. A little sloppy curveball, 2-1 now. Howie Fox just missing with that one. Bloodworth gets the ball on the ground ball and throws over to first, and that does it. Comes Grady Hatton again, 1-1 game, top of the 8th inning. This is exciting. This is tense. This is why you're watching the Baseball Replay Journal. 2-2 now the pitch comes in on Hatton. Hatton fights it off, dumps into center field for the base hit. This is another one of those key moments in this game as Danny Litweiler comes up. And you never know what's going to happen here, do you? My guess, I think they're going to swing away with Litweiler. I don't think they're going to try to bunt with him. My guess here is that we might see something happen here for Cincinnati. This might end up being a big inning for them with the heart of the order coming up here in the top of the 8th inning. Boy, you can get past Littweiler, but what happens when you have Bloodworth and Kluszewski coming up? I mean, 1 for 3 today alone for Bloodworth, and 2 for 3 for Kluszewski, and Danny Littweiler gets that base hit. I told you something's happening, something's brewing, something's coming up here in the air, and it doesn't look so good here from Sportsman's Park. There are 2 men on now for Bloodworth, and this could very quickly become a brand new ball game. And boy, this isn't going to bode well for St. Louis if they lose this game. This is the game they should be winning. There's a bunt that bounces high in the air by Bloodworth, so they bunt with Bloodworth, which is an interesting choice. Bloodworth, I'm going to check on him really quick and see what his bunting rating is. He's got sort of an average bunting rating. He's hitting .500 this year, and they bunt with him. You go figure that one out. I mean, this is ridiculous. I've been going on, and you know that I have for the last couple of days. I've been going on and on about the Diamond Mine Baseball Computer Manager and some of the bonehead decisions that it makes. I'm sorry here, but Bloodworth, if we look, we'll take another look at this. If we take a look at what his statistics are like, even in the regular season, that is to say, not in the replay, but when we're looking at what Bloodworth was like actually in baseball in this circumstance, he was actually a pretty good hitter. I know that we have a lefty on the mound. Oh, he was only 261 against the lefties instead of 260 like he was against the righties. I mean, if you really care that much about the lefty-righty matchup, which at least in this instance makes absolutely no difference. He's hitting in the replay, though, .500, and this is the thing. I mean, there's no way that a real-life manager would look at him and say, oh, we got to bunt with him. You know, what are we doing? Why would we have him swing away? You kidding me? He's been hitting extremely well here in the replay, hitting .500. He's got a double and a home run, scored 4 runs, 5 RBIs so far in the season, slugging percentage of .667. He's getting on base, and you're just going to sacrifice him. I mean, I understand sacrificing him for Kluszewski. Now here comes the problem, though, for us, by the way, which is, do we pitch to Ted, or do we walk him and pitch to Johnny? I think it's time to walk Ted. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to do now that we had all that nonsense out of our system. We are intentionally walking Kluszewski, and we're going to set up that double play, and we'll see where we go from here. This, again, is a key moment of this ballgame. Top of the 8th inning, 1-1 tie. Cincinnati with the bases loaded with 1 out. Brazel over 100 pitches now, 106 if you count those 4 from the intentional walk. I guess you do have to make the pitches, right? But it's not quite the same, is it? And we'll see if the gamble pays off or not. There's part of me that kind of wants to see the Reds wind up winning this one in the end. But there's another part of me that feels really upset about that managerial decision by the computer. So we're going to keep the infield back of the corners and up the middle, and we'll keep them in on the sides on the corners. And there's a curve for a strike. I think I said that wrong, but I won't worry about it. 1-2 now the pitch on Wirostek, and cuts on and misses it. And there's the 7th strikeout for Old Boots and Saddles. And now there are 2 outs. Now we can keep the infield at the normal position for Stallcup. Boots and Saddles delivers 0-2 now, and a little emergency swing by Stallcup, who's not looking himself at the plate. Another foul ball. Lunge for that one, fouls that one back, and that one's fouled back again. And 1-2 now on him. 2-2. Boots and Saddles toying with him a little bit now. 2-2 still. And another foul ball off the bat of Stallcup, and he hits that one to right center. 2 runs are going to score here in this game, and the Cincinnati Reds have blown this one wide open. And this is one of those at-bats that sort of shows the age of Diamond Mine Baseball. Now, these days, people talk about this a lot, too. But you know you have a game that was made in the late 90s or later if it's talking, if guys have good at-bats that include multiple foul balls. This is one of the problems with Diamond Mine Baseball and with its game engine, because I guarantee you that if you do pitch-by-pitch research in the 1949, you're not going to see a bunch of guys foul off that many pitches. But regardless, we'll go ahead and go along with it. It's 3-1 now Reds, and here comes Miller. Little pop-up that goes foul. 1-2 now the pitch on him. 2-2. Boots and Saddles with 7 strikeouts and a little ground ball to third base. And it's Kazak shifting that one over to Schoendienst, and that's the 3rd out. But the Reds make do with the chances they're given. It's 3-1 Cincinnati, and this is an exciting game. Musial now leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 game. 2-0 now is the pitch on Musial. 3-0 now, and they're going to walk him. And there comes that walk. They're pitching around Sam Musial all the way. Nippy Jones now, who we hope can punish them for it, but isn't playing well enough to do that. hitting 259 this season. He lines one over to a stall cup at the short, and here comes Chuck Deering now. And Chuck Deering is the guy that the Reds want to pitch against, and here he is with the double play ball, and Kluszewski just cannot get that one in time. Deering barely beats that one out. There's 2 outs now, and there's a little ball to Schoendienst, and he hits it over to center field for the 3rd out. Just like that, Cincinnati might win this game. We're going to keep boots and saddles in this one. 1-0 now. The pitch is on Merriman. He fouls that one back into Rice's glove, 1-1. And that's a pitch just below the kneecap, 2-1 now, 3-1 now, and Merriman stays in there. Looks sharp, full count now on Lloyd. And Boots and Saddles comes back again, and he's struck out Merriman for the 3rd time. 8 strikeouts here on the game. Pitching very, very well today, except, of course, for the 3 runs that he's given up. 0-2 now on Howie Fox. Let's see if we can do number 9. No, it's a little ground ball over there to Jones, and Brazel makes the put out at first. And here comes Grady Hatton now. 2-0 now is the count on him. I worry that Boots and Saddles is trying a little too hard for the strikeouts. Just get the man out. Just get the man out, all. 3-1 now, and now it's 3-2. And Hatton gets the walk barely, and there was probably an argument that was number 9. But we don't need strikeouts every time up, and there's a little bloop base hit for Danny Litweiler, and here comes Jimmy Bloodworth, and now the bases are loaded, and this is getting a little bit ugly, and we're going to have to put in a relief pitcher. I was hoping we wouldn't have to do this. I wanted to sort of save the bullpen a little bit here, but this is starting to get a little bit ugly and a little bit out of hand. We're going to put this guy in. This is Ray Joachim. Ray Joachim is going to be the new pitcher. 2.1 innings in real life, and we won't look at that ERA. That looks ugly, uglier than sin. 1-0 now the pitch on Kluszewski, and Joachim dodges the bullet. Little fly ball over to a Slaughter in left field, and here comes Marty Marion in the bottom of the 9th inning, 3-1 Cincinnati. 0-1 now the pitch on him. There's a little ground ball right side in the hole, and Marion just out, and boy, that was a close play. Fox beat him to the bag. 1 away now. Del Rice up. 2-0 the count on Rice. 2-1 now on Del Rice. 2-2. Little ground ball to second base, and that's 2 out. And boy, this is the last gasp, just like that. As I've said before, and we'll say again, this is the way that we play it here on the Baseball Replay Journal. Here is Solly Hamus. Solly Hamus, who I think had a big pinch hit the other day. Hamus is no 2 count on him, and strikes out, and that's the 5th strikeout there for Howie Fox. And there's your ball game. Cincinnati wins that one 3-1. And boy, that was an exciting game. That was definitely a game that was unexpected. If you like that, as always, hit the like button down below, subscribe, see more of this. Come visit the blog once in a while, and you'll be able to read about these recaps. It's going to take a little while for us to get the blog updated to the point where this game is played, but this was a pretty good game. I think we may wind up featuring after all. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.